ULAN improves the quality and effectiveness of assistance to refugee and host communities. The ULAN approach uses three components. Firstly, AAP. This helps to ensure that the refugee voices and choices are central in the response.
What we do is supporting the wider refugee response actors to strengthen accountability and systems and culture within their institutions. Refugees themselves should be at the forefront of advocating for better or fair policies and programs that impact their lives. And what we do is to support the amplification of refugee voices and choice.
Secondly is a research component which identifies and fills evidence gaps from across the refugee response.
The role of the research component is to identify a gap in information and to fill that gap in information with primary data. The ULAN research approach is quite unique in that the research is not project-specific. Instead, we are looking at much broader gaps in information and therefore offers a very holistic overview of the needs of refugees.
And thirdly, the learning component, which supports actors to access and use existing evidence to inform and improve their programming and policy.
The Learning Hub takes existing evidence, reports, evaluation, the experience that's in people's heads, and it summarizes that. It makes it accessible in a different range of formats. The objective is to then disseminate that to the different audiences and stakeholder groups, and we convene them, we bring them together, so that we promote the uptake of this evidence in order to improve policy and practice.
Through support to accountability to affected populations, research and learning, ULAN has contributed to improved outcomes for refugees and host communities.
If you're serving refugees, it's important to listen to their voices. In Uganda, we're one of those countries that do provide a forum, what we call the Refugee Engagement Forum.
We represent our communities in issues that affect them. We bring the voice of the refugees from the settlement to the national and again take back the feedback.
ULAN has been at the forefront, supporting that very important initiative.
ULAN is also contributing to the overall refugee response in Uganda through the AAP capacity sharing. We have been able to provide AAP training to a number of local, national, and international organizations.
The AAP training helped us to ensure that we are able to always close the feedback loop every single time.
In the last few years, we have conducted research pieces on access to financial services in the refugee settlements, a research on the knowledge, attitudes and practices on energy, environment and climate change in the settlement. This helped us put together energy profiles for each settlement and has helped partners choose which settlements were most adequate for their potential energy projects.
One of the things that I could say that ULAN products are important in is providing comprehensive information that would inform both policy and practice. It's very rare to find research pieces that you can refer to when you're trying to convince policymakers that this is an issue that needs to be worked upon.
The general impact of this research is that it highlights all these potentials for resilience, and we also offer the necessary information about how to overcome, for example, barriers to resilience.
They have supported government of Uganda and CRF in convening meetings, the Global Refugee Forum when we were preparing for that. ULAN supported some of the roundtable discussions that we had, arriving at the government pledges and the partner pledges.
Over the years of our work in Uganda, we have been able to increase the awareness of accountability to affected persons.
Our work has contributed to changes in policy and practice in the refugee response. The agriculture value chains learning process has led to a prioritization of the agriculture value chains, which is used by refugee response actors to select the value chains they're going to be working on. The financial literacy training learning process that we did led to the development of minimum standards that were adopted by Bank of Uganda. This ensures standardization and improved quality of financial literacy training.
The AP work has been able to challenge the refugee response actors in Uganda to reflect. We've seen different organizations adopting new ways to communicate or listen from the communities.
ULAN has done a lot in REF, and we are REF because ULAN is behind us.
Thanks to the support from UKaid, we've been able to design and implement a truly innovative program that has functioned as a common good for the Uganda Refugee Response.
This is a protracted crisis. Refugees are coming in more and more, they're not reducing. So changing our ways of working and looking at what is sustainable. ULAN's interventions in self-reliance and resilience, their research, their ability to show evidence has been very, very instrumental.